I'm in Rochester, New York today. I'm here on a business trip. I'm actually driving back to Chicago, where I started from, and I'm planning to take the route through Canada. So I can drive through the US or through Canada, and I thought I will drive through Canada and maybe stop by the Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. And that's the more beautiful side of the Niagara Falls. Crossing borders are always an interesting experience. I've crossed the US-Canada border several times, and also a few other country borders like Malaysia, Singapore. I've actually crossed Malaysia to Singapore on foot. And also I've crossed from Hong Kong to China, and that was on bus. So it's always an interesting experience when you cross borders on via the land. So I thought I'll take a drive through Canada to reach Chicago. Maybe I'll document that and show you around Niagara Falls, and stick around. So I just got on Interstate 90 going west towards Buffalo. It's going to probably take me about an hour or so. And once I get into Buffalo, we'll be crossing into Canada. Niagara Falls should be quite close by there. It's a very cloudy day. Sun is not out. Maybe it'll clear out by the time I get there. So I'm looking forward to being to Niagara Falls. This is Interstate 90. So by the way, I wanted to add that I drive, I rented this car. I have an Indian driver's license. So people often, this is a question that a lot of travelers to the US wonder if they can rent a car in the US. So from what I understand and from my research in the past is that as long as you have a driver's license from the country where you're coming from and the license is in English, you should be fine to rent a car and drive here in the US. But if it's not in English, you might have to get it translated by your licensing authority or some authority. You might have to look that up. Summer is really beautiful here in US and Canada. So if you're ever visiting US, come in summertime. It's really beautiful. Reached Buffalo. The traffic has gotten a little bit more heavier, lots more vehicles in the highways here. Driving is a bit slower now, so the Canadian border shouldn't be too far away from here.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the Interstate 190 North exit toward Niagara Falls.
I took a wrong exit. I'm on an exit that's only supposed to be for trucks. So I don't know if they'll let me through. Let's see. I don't know how to turn back to go to the other exit. So it's my bad. Finally, I'm on the Canadian side. I did a mistake. I took the truckers lane, and fortunately there wasn't any problem. They let me through. It was a truckers lane, so the
Turn right onto General Brock Parkway West.
immigration officer was sitting so up high, so I had to come out of the car and reach out to give my passport, and she had more questions than usual. Just paid the toll. It's $5 Canadian. I didn't have a Canadian currency, so I had to use my card. So I am in Ontario now. So they use kilometers here like in India. So the maximum speed here is 100 kilometers per hour. That's about 60 miles an hour. But everything else looks exactly the same as in the US side. It's just that now you'll see Ontario and Canadian flags and things like that, but the landscape and everything will look exactly similar to the other side. But it's just a completely different feeling when you cross one country to the other, either in a car or just walking in or by bus. I've done this a few times, and every time it's kind of a little bit of an excitement is there, just when you're going into a new country. I just stopped at a travel information desk. Thought I'll find some more information on the directions and where to go, etc. If I wanted to get to the falls, what's the direction I should take?
So you're in this lot.
Okay.
So you can just come around the building this way, and
Okay.
instead of getting back on the highway, you're gonna see a service gate.
Okay.
Just on your right here, and there's 4 posts with a green button in the middle. If you open it, or if you push the button, the gate will open. So you're in our back parking lot. Glendale and follow signs for QEW Niagara Falls, and then that'll take you towards the falls. You're going right downtown, right?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
go to the falls. Yeah.
So you're gonna come in on the Queen Elizabeth Way, which is the QEW, and then it's gonna take you, get off for the 420. The falls are right here.
Okay.
So you have to drive down the Niagara Parkway. If you plan on parking, there's parking lots pretty much everywhere. They're all public lots.
Okay.
And they usually charge a flat rate. I was just down there the other day and I parked it right here, and it was $10 for the day, and then you can just walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this map makes it look farther, but like Clifton Hill is the main hill, and the Niagara Parkway has all like
Okay.
the hornblower and everything's within walking distance.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In 200 meters, turn right onto
turkey melt and coffee from Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is a famous coffee chain in Canada. You will find Tim Hortons anywhere you go in Canada. So this is most popular coffee chain in Canada. So I wanted to visit it again. I also think Tim Hortons is there in some other countries, like few cities in the US, and also in Dubai. I've seen Tim Hortons in Dubai. Their coffee is very popular. You know, people have this every day in the morning during their drive to work and so on. So I thought I'll just come back and try it again. So you can see there's just so much more to see and do here in the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls. So if you can make it to the Canadian side, do check it out. You see the people over there, they're on the US side. They're on the US side of the Niagara Falls. And I think you can also walk from the US side to the Canadian side over that bridge. So there are people walking on that bridge over to the Canadian side. So that's an end to our Niagara Falls trip. I think I nearly spent about 3 hours here. There is just so much activities for families to do here. You can spend an entire day or even 2 days here. Just so much to do. Rides, theme parks, all kinds of museums. So I hope you enjoyed this video so far. I'll be heading out to the US, crossing the Canadian border to the US side. Might be spending the night in a town called Flint in Michigan, and then continue to Chicago tomorrow. So if you have liked the video so far, I would appreciate if you can really help me out and do a like on this video and maybe even subscribe to my channel. I'm just starting this channel out, and I'll be doing lots more of travel themed videos. And if you like what you've seen so far, maybe subscribe and get to know me and my channel and my travels better. Thanks for watching so far. So let's get started and head to the US.
By the time we keep falling